Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I guess so. We are live now.
Yes.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Open Source Cafe. Hope you all are doing great today. So, today we have with us Vraj Desai, who is selected for GSOC 2022 with OPPIA organization. He is an onboarding mentor at OPPIA too. He is a GitHub campus expert trainee and he is an Android developer. He has done some amazing work with open source and today we'll discuss all about it. So, Vraj, why don't you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So, hello everyone. I am Vraj Desai, and currently I am in my second year. I'm pursuing my BTech in Computer Science Engineering from ITM Vocational University, Vadodara, Gujarat. And yeah, so I will tell more about me. So I'm an Android developer, as Shivangi said, and I love to work on different techs. Also, I have also worked with machine learning. I also built projects, couple of projects using extended reality, and I explored almost every field of tech. And I really love to explore the things. And yeah, and I'm also a community person. Like I'm engaged in so many communities. Like I'm part of a postman team, postman community. That is, I am a postman student leader. I'm also a GitHub campus expert trainee, and I also am organizer for Azure Developer Community Surat, and I'm also a Binance campus builder. And there is a lots of things I'm doing currently. Yeah.
That is so amazing, Raj. Okay,
Yes.
so we'll start with your journey with open source. So, why don't you start with how you started contributing to open source and then get it selecting for GSOC? Like, what are all the obstacles you faced in this journey? What is the good and bad part about being in open source?
Okay, so like I heard about open source first time from Hacktoberfest. So in I guess in 2020, I have participated in Hacktoberfest, and it was the first time I have done my first open source contribution. And after that, I came to know about open source, but later on, like due to some college stuff, and I'm not focusing much on the open source. But when the lockdown happened, like everything goes online, I want to upskill myself. So during that time period, I watched so many online guidance videos, and from there, one of the channel you all maybe know about it, Kunal Kushwaha. So I know from him that yeah, there is something open source, and there are so many programs like Google Summer of Code, Google Summer of Talks, and Outreach. It has lots of programs like that. So I really want to be a part of that. But in 2021, also I want to apply for the Google Summer of Code, but I missed the deadline, and also at that time, like I felt that it was very new for me. I'm totally a beginner. I don't know much about the things which are happening in open source and all. So yeah, that's how I started. And then after I watched some guidance videos on Google Summer of Code. Okay, so like I can say that my motivation for open source came from Google Summer of Code only, because I really want to be part of such an amazing programs. I have seen the lots of people on LinkedIn, like they are posting that hey, we are selected for Google Summer of Code, we are selected for some other programs, like there's an MLS fellowship is also. So I want to get enrolled in these programs, and because of that, I started doing open source contributions, and then I know that open source is not just about getting into a program. There is more than that. Okay, so one thing I want to say to any beginner who is getting started with open source is that don't just do open source for to get enroll in any program like Google Summer of Code or MLS Scholarship. Definitely, it's the motivation behind that. For me, also, this was the motivation. But what happens now that like if you are not selected for any program, you will get demotivated and you stop contributing to open source. Okay, and this is not the thing why open source is made. Okay, so open source is like you get an opportunity to contribute to the code base, which is already like there are lots of contributors who are already contributing to that code, and that code is written by that very good developers. Okay, like the developers who are working in Google or in very big companies, and they have achieved something. Okay, so their code base is literally the code base which you get when you are doing an internship or a job. So you get this exposure. So do the open source to learn new things. Okay, to get an experience of the real world software development, not just to get enrolled in the programs. So this was the one thing I want to say to any beginner who is getting started with open source. And yeah, like I've said, like this how I've started with the Oktoberfest and like searched for the organization. So then in September, 2021, I literally get more serious to see that what are the organizations were participating in Google Summer of Code. And from that, I like one organization, that is OPPIA, because like their theme is education. And like we all know that education is really important for everyone, okay, and they're doing really great work. And it's a kind of an NGO who is not earning from anyone, okay. So I really want to contribute to that project, and I have explored things, and that's how I started with OPPIA.
That is amazing. So, like one question that is okay, this is one personal question I want to ask. So, like you
Yeah,
mentioned that you started in September. So,
yeah,
mostly that what I have seen is at that time the community sections of these organization, it's kind of there are not so many people active. So, how did you
okay.
contacted the mentors and everyone so that okay you have doubt in this particular issue? Who did you contacted and how? So you got a response.
Yeah, so like I don't know much about other organizations, but yes,
Mm,
for OPIA, it's not that you won't get any response from mentors or other contributors, even if you do, like if you ask questions after GSOC, okay, like because there is this
mm,
time period, September to October, where not much people will contribute, okay. When the
mm,
GSOC came near, like after January, people will remember, yeah, we have to do open source, we want to get into this program, Google
mm.
Summer of Code, okay. So in OPIA, we are open on every day, okay, every time. So it's not like that. And there is a process in OPIA, okay. So first of all, if you want to get started to contribute to OPIA, first you have to submit sign a form, CLA form. And
Mm,
when you fill that form, you will get an email, and email
mm.
from an onboarding mentor. So as you have said, I am also an onboarding mentor. So once you
Yes.
submit this that form, you will get a
Mm,
response from one of the contributor of OPIA, who is a mentor for you, and he will guide you with the good first issues, and how to get started with the open source, and how to contribute, how to solve your first issue for OPIA. So you will definitely get the guidance, even if you do it in September or in any other month. Even now also, if you submit the form, you will get the response within 1 or 2 days.
okay, that is amazing. So okay,
Yeah.
now like your proposal for this year is selected. So if you want to share your proposal with us and guide our viewers to write a good proposal that is selected in GSOC, that would be really nice.
Yeah, okay. I will share my screen for that.
Okay.
Okay, so is my screen visible? Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so
Yes,
here
yes,
I
it
will
is
for
visible.
okay. Okay, so like first of all, who didn't know, this is the website for Google Summer of Code. So from here you can organize, you can browse to all the organizations, okay, which are participating in Google Summer of Code. And here these all organizations are for 2022. So if you want to apply in 2023, these organizations might get updated, okay. It's not necessary that like all organizations which were there in 2022 will be there in 2023 also. So you need to check their website. So there is a timeline for that. So in 2023, you will get the all organizations list in around first or second week of May, okay. So there is a timeline, you can follow that. So as Shivangi said, I will show my proposal. So here I will search the organization name, it's in OPIA. Okay. So here you can see that here there are multiple projects. So let's get to my project, that is this accessibility improvements, okay. So I guess we can't access the proposal here. So here it's written that my mentors and organization and technologies are
Mm,
mentioned. So if you want
mm.
to see the proposal, wait, I can get that thing. um, okay, I will show the proposal later. First of all, let's see like how to browse the organizations, okay.
Okay, okay, no
So
problem.
here, yeah, because I guess I have to log in for that, wait, otherwise I can do it. and see, like, you will definitely get a guidance from my proposal. But there is one thing that you don't have to like copy others proposals, and this is there is a thing called plagiarism. So if you copy the same contents from other proposals, then your proposal will be definitely get rejected. And also there is not a chance to copy also, because like the same project won't come next year. Okay, it will be solved this year only. Okay, so here you can see this is my proposal. Okay, so for OPIA, specific to OPIA, I can say we have a proper format to create a proposal. Okay, so you can't create proposal on your own way. So there is a format which you have to follow. I will show that first. So first let's get to the OPIA. Okay, so see, and this is our GitHub repo of OPIA. It's for OPIA Android. You can find same for the OPIA web also. So from here, first we have to go to the wiki pages. So for Google Summer of Code specific to GSOC, I can say here we have specific guidelines. Okay, see here for Google Summer of Code 2021, the guidelines are written like what are the completed projects are there. So you can definitely browse through all of this. And I can say the wiki page of our OPIA is really important. So first of all, like when you are starting with your contributions, first see go through this wiki page. Okay, because in wiki page you will find so much important information. Like even if you have any problem or any if you face any doubt or any bug or issue, you can definitely solve that by reading the wiki. Okay, so for before reaching out to any mentor to solve a doubt, first go through the wiki. It might be possible, mostly I can say that your doubt will be solved just by reading the wiki. Okay, so please go through the wiki once you start contributing to OPIA.
And this is something that is common for all the organizations.
Yeah, definitely. For all the organizations, wiki page is really important.
Okay.
Wait, I can go through the Google Summer of Code proposal.
It's fine if for now you can share your proposal. It's okay, it's
Okay, no
fine.
problem. Yeah. Okay, so you can access that the format of the Google Summer of Code. I will update
Mm-hmm.
it later in the comment section. Okay, when the video is completed.
Okay.
So here you can see my proposal. So first we
Mm-hmm.
have to write like why we are interested in OPIA. Okay, like there are multiple
Mm-hmm.
organizations in Google Summer of Code. So why we want to contribute to OPIA only. So here we have to write the reason. We have to describe what we think about the organization and why we have chosen this project only. Because see, for one organization there will be a multiple projects. Okay, it's not like that only one or two projects are there. Mostly like for any organization there will be more than five projects. So you have to mention like why you have selected that project. So for me, the best part for me for that is like the project which on which I was working is accessibility improvements. And since I have joined the OPIA, I have mostly solved all the issues related to accessibility only. So I'm very much comfortable with it. So I've written that reason like that I have solved so many issues related to accessibility. So I really want to work on this project as I also have experience on solving this. Okay, so it might it not be the same case for you, but you can definitely work on it, like how you can justify your answer for that. And after that you have to write your experience. Definitely you need to have some experience. I can say it's not like you have a working experience of 1 or 2 years. It's just that you have contributed previously before applying GSOC. Okay, and this is the one of the most important tip for Google Summer of Code, that try to contribute as early as possible. Okay, so if you want to participate in 2023, I can say start contributing from today itself. Okay, because there is so much competition for this GSOC, right? There are even these are also around 5,000 applications were there, and from that only 1,200 were accepted. So if you are an early contributor, okay, they will see that yeah, you are doing this from last few months, and you are not here just for the GSOC. You are here to do open source contribution, and that is what they are looking for. They don't want that you will complete your GSOC and you will go away. Okay, so the main idea for Google Summer of Code is to promote open source and to get more people into open source and help these organizations to grow their code base, right? So
Yes.
here we have to mention like what PRs which we have contributed, or which are already merged. So here you can see I have list out the 5 PRs which I have which are already merged. Okay, and these all PRs are done by me. Like I have written the code for this. After that, yeah, there is a project size. So I guess from this year only this thing came that there are two project size: medium and large. Large means there is more work you have to do, definitely it's a large project. And in medium there will be some less work. So and also the stipend is different. Like for medium project you get the half stipend, for large project it's double. The stipend is double, but also you have to do the double work, right? So mine was
Yes.
the medium project, so yeah, it's a medium. I've written there. Then there is a project time frame. So basically I guess this year they have made lots of changes. Okay, so this one of the major change this year is like you can extend your timeline. So like most of the con- participants who are selected for GSOC are students, right? So we are students and we might have some other like we have to go to college and we have some exams, and also we can extend our deadline if we want. Like there is a we can extend it till 6 months, right? So basically, the Google Summer of Code is for 3 months only. So coding period will lies between this year. It's from June 13 to September 12. But if I want to extend it, I can extend it till November. Means I can extend it to more 3 months. Okay, but it's recommended that you complete it within 3 months only, not extend it if like because otherwise like you will get you will have to work more, I guess, because if you complete one thing in a day, you will do it one thing in a 2 days. Okay, if you have more time, you will procrastinate and you will do that thing late.
Yes.
So I will suggest, if it's possible, try
That
to complete
happens.
in 3 months only. Yeah, that happens.
Mm.
So that's the thing, and the time commitment is there. So as this is a medium project, I have written that I will commit 4 to 5 hours per day. And see, this is justifiable. Like if you select a medium project, if you even if you have a college, you can manage at least 3 to 4 hours for the project, right? You can sleep late at night, but you can manage this thing. But even if you write here 8 to 10 hours per day, then it won't be possible with your college. You don't have to go to college to do the GSOC, and it won't be possible for all students, right? So select project according to the time you have, right? So keep this in mind, and you can't change this after once you get selected. So now I'm selected for this project, right? So now I can't change my project to a larger project, that no, now I want to do more work more and I want more stipend. So it's not like that. You have to select a project before applying for the GSOC, right? You have to, your whole proposal will be based on your project.
Yes.
So then there might be some essentials like you all, it will show that you are able to run your code in your system and all. So this is just a basic introduction of the proposal, and the main proposal starts from here. And I say most of the proposals are rejected because of this section, like the main section of explaining your project, right? Because what the organization want is to complete their project, right? They want that their project will be grown, like they have some contribution from your side. So this is the main thing, and work on this, give more maximum time to this thing. And yeah, so here also there is multiple sections. You can see here, first we have what section, like what project we are working on. So what should be included in the project. So it's very like structured thing. Okay, first there is what, then how, then what is the implementation approach. Okay, then what is the implementation table, like how you milestone table, how you approach to that milestone and all. So here I have completed this table. Then there is a how. See, first there is what, like what you will do. Then how you can do it, right? So here you have to write everything. Like first, what is the existing status, like currently I'm doing accessibility improvements, right? So what are the existing improvements which are already there, and what more needs to be done. So I need to mention the whole thing. So for that, I have actually, see, one more thing I want to say. This is my final proposal for a Google Summer of Code when I have applied. But when I got selected, now I have to do more changes in this. So it's not like that once you have created Google your proposal, you are done with that. No, it's not like that. Even after you get selected, you might have to make some changes to your proposal, so be ready, be prepared for that thing. Okay. So yes, now we have solution overview. Here we will show like what we will do in our project, what are the problems and what needs to be done. So here I have here what they need more is like they definitely want the written context, but also we need to show them with the visual context as much as possible, right? So here I have added these gifs, and actually I have made the Word document. So in Word the gif is supported, but in PDF it's not. So that's why I have also mentioned the links. So if you go to the link, you will see like what is the problem with that. So I added the gif of every screen which needs improvement, and after that I have written the code base also. See here the functions are written like I will add this function, this variable, and this function will do this thing. So uh, this is, you can say like whenever you are doing any soft in a big project in a company, right? So what they first do is they will create a wireframe. Okay, they will gather the documentation part. So this is, you can say, the documentation part, the information gathering part, which you needs to be done, which needs to be done before actually working on a project. So here you will write all the code which needs to be added, and it's not like you have to write everything about the project like whole implementation part. You just have to give the overview, and you have to show that you know how to do that project, right? You need to show that you are capable of doing this project. So for that, you at least you need to show some code or some architecture or some diagrams which give context to the reviewer who is reviewing your proposal, that yes, this person is capable of doing this, and he has already mentioned this thing, so he will do like that. Okay. And after that yeah, we have to give like, okay, so now we have selected that we want to do this project in a this way, so you also have to give justification, like I am doing this thing in this way. Okay, so in programming you might know that to do a one particular thing there is multiple ways. Okay, so you have to give justification also, like we are doing this thing using this library and using these functions. Why? Because this is the best approach. And why this is the best approach, we have to mention that. And also we have to mention the alternative approaches, like if you do it in other way, then this will be the problem, that's why we have used this approach. So this all things needs to be mentioned. And after that we will do implementation approach. So in implementation we will mention what code will be changed. This will be quite similar to the solution overview, but in this you can give more details if you want. Okay. And also I can say that development, it's not just about like building or like writing some code to build something. Also we need to test that thing, whatever we have written, right? So definitely I don't know much about other orgs, but in OPPIA, whatever feature or whatever new functionality you add in your project, you need to write a test for that. Okay, even it's a small functionality, like you have written that on button click this action should happen, right? So even for that small functionality, you need to write a test which shows that yes, this thing is working. And this is really important. Even when you go in a software in a real software industry, they also have this test cases, and there also you have to write this thing. So if you participate in such programs, you will get exposure to this, like how to write a test cases and how to write a clean code basically, right? Okay, so if you write really bad code, it's really difficult to test your code. So you need to write a code such a way that it's a testable. So here, whatever features I have added in this project, I also have to write a test cases for that feature. So here I will write the test name and how the test will, uh, what steps are needed for that test. Okay, so I have to mention all the things here. So here I have to mention tests and then the implementation plan. Okay, so this is really important. Here whatever features you are adding, you have to divide into sub parts, right? You have to divide it into small issues, and for that issues you have to write the target date and the merge date. So there is two things. Okay, if you have made a simple GitHub project, you might know that once you create a issue, also it needs to be merged, right? So here when you have to write the PR creation date. So till this date you will create a PR. Okay, your work, you will be completed from your side. After that the mentor will review it from their side, and if there are some more changes in that PR, you need to do that changes, and after that your PR will be merged. So you will create this PR till this date, and it will it should get merged before this date. So here is a whole the table, a milestone table, where you have to mention all the issues and how much time you take to complete that particular issue. Okay, so here in, I guess, for every project there are two milestones. Okay, and based on these milestones you get a stipend. Like if you complete first milestone you will get your 40%, and if you complete your second milestone you will get your 60% payment. So our project is divided into two milestones, so you have to do it accordingly. And also there is an evaluation process. Like first, once your first milestone is completed, you have to create a proper document for the reviewer that yes, you have completed these all things in milestone one, and they will review it. And if they approve it, you will get your stipend and your first milestone is completed. Similar, and there's a similar process for second milestone also. So this is all about the proposal. And yeah, in future work you can write like this more needs to done in future if this new issue came and not. Okay, yeah, so that's all about the proposal which I have written, Shivangi.
It was an amazing proposal. It was so thorough. Everything was mentioned. So, like OPIA provides a template for writing this proposal, right?
Yes,
Okay.
but I can show that
Let's
thing
see. We
if
have.
I.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, no
Okay, if
problem.
you want to show the template. Uh, so, like your proposals, are they available on on any website?
uh, no, actually it's available to me only. Like if I
Okay.
log into my thing it will be available. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess once I complete this GSOC it will be
Mm-hmm.
available on the wiki page.
Okay, okay, nice. Let's see if we have some questions in the chat.
Yeah,
Okay, we
definitely.
have this one question.
Yeah, this Vyom Yadav has asked like how is the community
So,
bonding. Yeah,
yes, we have. Okay, so Vyom Yadav has asked the question: how is the community bonding period going on? Have you started coding? So it's related to your GSOC.
yeah, definitely. Okay, so see, for regarding coding period, like community bonding period, still we need to get a green light before starting coding. So in OPIA there is a process that before we start coding or working on our actual project, we need to get a green light on our proposal. So as I said previously also, I have submitted one proposal for GSOC and it gets selected, right? But even after submitting that, there are some changes which my mentor wants in my existing proposal. So I need to first complete those all changes, and I need to get the green light from our org admin. And once I get that green light that yes, now your proposal is complete, now you can start working on it. And so after that only I can start working on the coding part. But right now I'm still working on a green light document. And yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, that's cool. So, like, we can move to our next question. So, like, how will
Sure.
you guide a beginner in open source to contribute to OPIA? So, like, if particularly we're talking about OPIA, how will you guide a beginner to contribute to OPIA? So, like, if you can share your screen and take us to the repository.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Wait a second. Okay. So see, first of all, like for any organization you want to contribute, you have to go to their GitHub repository. So here, this is our home page of OPIA. So as Shivang also said, maybe that OPIA has both things. Okay, it's not like OPIA is, you can contribute to only OPIA Android app. There we also have a website for OPIA, and it's fully functional. Right, it's really a very huge code base. So for OPIA web also you can contribute. For that you can click here OPIA web, and you can go through the repository of OPIA web. And before doing any contribution, you first have to sign a CLA, right? So for that, you can go through the contributors wiki, and you can see. So here you will get all the things, and if you want to get started with you have to first fill out this form. Wait. See, there is this form which you have to fill out, or to start. This is non-developer volunteer. So yeah, this is one more thing I want to say. So it's not that you only do a code contributions, you can also do non-developer contributions for OPIA. Like there is a designing part, right? We also have a separate UX design team. So if you are into designing, you are really interested into designing, then you can definitely join our UX design team. And yeah, that for GSOC you won't be selected for if you are a part of UX design, but there are other programs like outreach. So if you participate in outreach, you are eligible for outreach if you are a part of UX design team. Okay, so if you want to participate in programs like outreach, you can definitely join our other teams like UX design. Okay, so we also have a Gitter channel, and if you have any doubt, you can definitely go through our Gitter channel, and here you will ask any doubt you have. Okay, but mostly I suggest like avoid using GitHub. Try to ask doubts on GitHub discussions. Okay, so I'll show you what is the GitHub discussion. So here, if you go here, we have GitHub discussions. Okay, so see here, uh, you can ask anything you want. Yeah, there are already some discussions going on. And what is the benefit of using GitHub discussion is that, like, it might be possible that whatever doubt you have is already asked by someone else in previously. Okay, so like you don't have to wait to answer anyone. You can just search the discussion, and if their question is already asked, you will get your answer, right? So it's an amazing thing. So I would suggest, if you have any doubt for OPIA, specific to OPIA, whether it's an Android one or in a web one, you can definitely go to the GitHub discussion and ask there. And Gitter is always there. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. So that's about the OPIA web. Let's get to the OPIA Android also. So now for OPIA Android also, you will see the similar screen, well, similar repository, but yeah, there are more things like okay, so here we have a specific section to our projects, and we have a different projects in OPIA. For OPIA Android, like there is a user team, there is a dev team, there is a performance metrics team, there is a clam team, and clam team is like the most active one, and I'm a part of it. So I'm saying it because clam team is mostly do all changes which are related to a user app, like whatever the changes which are faced directly by the users are done by the clam team. So there's a clam team, then these are the GSOC one, which are the previous projects. Okay, and also we are using Bazel. So it in first, when I started contributing, there was an issue for me that I am on Windows, and I have to do some tests. I check some tests, run some tests. So for that, I have to switch to Ubuntu to run some tests. So I would suggest, like, if it's possible, try to use Ubuntu for like specific to Android repository, because also the code base is huge, and in Ubuntu your Android studio will perform well, and the Bazel is currently only supported in Ubuntu, in Linux only. So if you are using Windows, you can definitely use WSL, Windows Linux subsystem, but still I guess it's better if you use Linux OS. Okay, yeah, so that's all about it, like the Android repo. And here also you can go through the wiki part. In wiki, you can see what like there is a dark mode, there is a Kotlin coroutine. So we are using different technologies for libraries and the frameworks for Android. Like for dependency injection, we are using Dagger 2. Then for testing, we are using RoboElectric. Okay, so you can definitely look at the libraries. And also here we have overview of the OPIA Android architecture. So here you will get the overview of whole app architecture, like what are the different modules, and how the code is written, and how the code structure is there of OPIA. And I would say, like, don't just overwhelmed by the code, because this happened to me also. Like, when you contribute to any open source organization, you will feel very overwhelmed, like, oh, there is so much of code, like, how will I understand, how can I contribute? Because like, we just have experience of building very small projects, right? We have built a simple weather application, or some clone of any other web, so it's easy, and we have just followed. Most of the people, what do is, they just follow the YouTube tutorial and do what that guide is doing, okay. But when you do actual development, you know that there are a lot of things you need to take care of. So if you are a beginner, okay, don't worry, don't just get overwhelmed by seeing the code base and by reading this wiki. Definitely it's really tough for a beginner to understand everything at once. And even I am say, even when I started contributing, I don't know anything, means I can say, even in Android, I am not that much experienced. Okay, I am kind of a beginner one who have just built one or two Android apps using Firebase when I started contributing. But during my journey of open source, like, I have contributed before GSOC, I have contributed for around 9 months, right? So in that 9 months, I have learned so much about Android, which I haven't even learned while building side projects. Because in side project, what happens? We just follow so many YouTube tutorial, or we are building it at a small level, right? The thinking which we do is very small, like, we don't know much about how to write a clean code, concise code. So if you can, like, do open source in such projects, the code is very well structured, okay. It's not even if you do very small contribution, like, I will show some issues, and like, I will give you an example. So see here, if you want to contribute to any issue, if you are a beginner, first don't see to all issues. Just go to the label and select good first issues. Okay. So, and I can say, for any organizations, mostly there are good first issues, or you can say beginner level issues. So first select that particular tag and then go through the issues. If you try to solve the hard issue, uh, when you are beginner, you won't able to do it, right? You have to take small steps to become a bigger one. So first, uh, do any like small issue, okay, a good first issue. So here you can see there are lots of issues, small issues. Let's take this issue, right? Merge profile, choose profile view.xml into single file. So this issue is really simple. I already know about these kind of issues, that's why I'm saying. So what you have to do is, there are four files for if you do any basic Android development, you know that for different screen size, if we want to build a responsive application, we have to give different dimensions for different screens, right? Like, for a tablet there will be a different dimensions, and for mobile there will be different dimensions, right? Even if you're doing web development, you have to build responsive design, you have to use the media queries to in CSS for a responsible website, right? So similar to Android, you have to give different dimensions. So here, what we have to do is, there is already like four files, okay. One is for landscape, one is for portrait, and we are also supported in tablet mode. So for mobile there will be two files, for tablet there will be two files. So the code is already there, you just have to copy some lines of code from these files to another file, right? So here you have to compare the files, and whatever difference is there, you have to write that difference code in another file, that is styles dimension.xml. There you have to just mention the dimensions and call that dimensions. It's really a simple thing. Once you read this thing, you will definitely understand what you have to do. So try to solve the issues like this, which are really easy for a beginner, okay. Even I can say, if you don't know much about Android development, you can solve these issues. These are really easy one. And also, if you get stuck anywhere, just ask the questions, okay. Don't hesitate. As a beginner, we know that there will be some issues you will be facing, right? We at one time we are also a beginner, so we know what issues you face. So don't feel small, that, oh, this is very a silly issue, how can I ask that? Ask it, I can say. And another thing is, also, like, there are two things, right? Definitely you can ask the issue, but what I would suggest is, it's good if you try to do your own research before asking a question. Because see, like, this org is really big, okay. So there might be a lot of contributors who are having any issues, and if you ask it, you might get a response in some time, okay. There will be some delay around 1 day. You will definitely get in 1 or 2 days, but why to wait for such time, right? You can definitely search in Google. Like, most of the thing, I can say, you can definitely find your answer from Google. Otherwise, we are there to help. So first, do your own research before asking a question. That's what I want to say. Okay. And if you want to work on any issue, first you have to mention that, hey, I would like to work on this issue, as here see this person has written that I would like to work on this issue. So once you write this, we will see and we will assign you. So here there is currently no one assigning. So here your name will be there in assignee section. So this way you can start contributing. Okay. So yeah, any questions, Shivangi?
Okay, it was a really nice explanation. You covered everything. Um, Overall, you covered everything. My next question
Hmm.
would be asking like, this is such a huge code base and people really get overwhelmed
Yes.
looking at this. You covered that point too. So, like we have one question in the chats. In how many
Okay.
programs does OPIA participate? Like you mentioned, outreachy. Are there any more programs in which OPIA participates?
Okay, so like see, you can definitely look at it at the wiki page. Okay, so we have a. I already showed you it. So here, when you go through the wiki page of OPIA, here the things are mentioned. Okay, see here the GHC open source, in GHC open source day, we have participated. Then in season of talks in 2019, our project is participated. Then in this semester long project also, PI is participated. Okay, for Oktoberfest is also there. This GSOC is obviously, like, we are consistent from last, I can say, 7 years. Since last 7 years we are participating in GSOC. This is our seventh year. Okay, so this is the key thing you can look out for when contributing to project. Like if you seriously want to get into Google Summer of Code, try to select projects who are already a part of it previously, because mostly, like I can say, those projects who are part of GSOC from last 2 to 3 years, they're definitely going to participate next year also, right? So this is the tip from my side you can get, because I have selected this organization by seeing look that stats also, like it's really an old organization, right? From since 2016 it is participating in GSOC, so definitely I thought that it would participate in 2022 also.
Yes. Okay, so like we have talked so much about GSOC. So do you want to talk about other open source programs we have and you would recommend our viewers?
Yes, definitely. See, open source, like, see, there are two kinds of programs, like, right, like one is a paid and one is a unpaid. So first of all, I would suggest, if you are a beginner, you can also start with the unpaid programs. So there are different programs, like Girl Script is organizing, like Girl Script Winter of Code, Girl Script Summer of Code. You might have seen on LinkedIn also, some people are posting, right? So participate in such programs which Girl Script is organizing. It's really a beginner level programs, and you will get a proper guidance. Means in there also there are mentors who are always ready to help you. Asking about paid programs, yeah, there are in paid, you are there is a definitely Google Summer of Code. And if you are really into a technical writing, right, if you think like, I don't want to do code, but I'm really good in writing, okay, so you can definitely took a part in Google season of talks. And even I can say you, there are some people who are even getting more stipend for Google season of docs than Google Summer of Code. But as I said, stipend is not not should be your main motive for a GSOC or any other open source program. Stipend is the thing you get because of your work, but it should not be the main motive, right? Your main motive should be learning. So yeah, Google season of docs is there for technical writing. Then another is MLH fellowship, okay, Major League Hacking fellowship. And the I can say, give it a shot to MLH, because in MLH it's see, GSOC came only once a year, right? GSOC and GSOT both came only once a year. You have that you have to fill your applications within the deadline. But for MLH, it is happening thrice a year. Okay, so in every 4 or 3 months there is there is a new cohort for MLH fellowship. So you can definitely look out for MLH fellowship. And in MLH fellowship also there are different tracks, like there is a production engineering, there is a open source track, there is also software engineering track. So try to look out for that tracks, different tracks. If you are into DevOps stuff, okay, you are doing DevOps and Kubernetes and all, then you can look out for the production engineering. Because, and I can say that, like, in the MLH, the companies, the projects on which you are working are really great. Like I've seen that previously they have a project from Meta, like Facebook. Okay, so you are contributing to the Facebook project. Just imagine how big achievement is it for you, and how much exposure you get. You are working with the engineers who are in Facebook, okay, the developer of the Facebook, the senior engineers of Facebook. You are working with them, right? So you'll really get the big exposure from that MLH fellowship. And also there is a pre MLH fellowship. Okay, so MLH fellowship is for 3 months, right? You have to give around 35 to 40 hours per week for full-time MLH fellowship. That is for 3 months. But there is an also alternative like pre-MLH fellowship, and it's basically for more beginner level, or who just want to try out the MLH fellowship, right? So it's a 1 month program, and in that you are doing similar to the MLH fellowship. And one thing I want to say that see, in MLH pre-MLH fellowship, it's not just about contributing to project. The more exciting part, which excites me about the MLH, is that they also have internal hackathons, right? So you are divided into a teams, and you have to work on a hackathon. So if you and it's really an you will enjoy that process, like participating in hackathon and building some real life projects. And also that in a team, and that team will also, like, you don't know that other person, because that team will be randomly, like the who is your pod leader will create your team, right? So you will be working with other members whom you don't know, you just interacted during the MLH. So you will learn a lot from their experiences, and you will also build a very good connections. And I can say, yeah, connection is really important. Even you are a student or a developer or any person in 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 a current scenario, I can say the connections are really important if you want to succeed in your career, right? So you definitely build a
Yes.
good connections in these programs. Like in GSOC also, I can say the our org admin is working in Google, right? He is a senior engineer in Google, right? So see the level of connection you get from that person, right? You are working under a person who is working in Google. So definitely the connection which you build are the worthless. Like you can't calculate how much, how will it's beneficial for you.
Okay, these are amazing programs. Most of us we do
Yes,
not even know about these amazing open source programs. Um,
definitely. Yeah, I want to add up on
okay.
that. There are
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are more programs which Linux Foundation is sponsoring. So there is LFX Mentee, okay, LFX Mentee program in which you will be, and the thing is, like, there most projects will be based on the DevOps part, okay, DevOps, or it will be based on the Linux kernel and kind of thing, because Linux Foundation is sponsoring it. But in that also you will definitely get a very good exposure, and I would recommend to apply for that also, because see, in that also you will get stipend, right? It's around, I heard, around 2000 US dollar you get for LFX mentee, LFX mentorship. And apart from stipend, the competition is also less, because there you don't have to build, I guess, proposal. There you have to submit your CV, and you have to do some work before you're getting selected, okay. LFX mentorship, so you can also give it a shot to LFX mentorship. And also it's providing another programs like Hyperledger is there. So if you are into a blockchain, you can look out for the Hyperledger program. Then there is also a summer of Bitcoin, which needs some open source experience, but also it's a great program in. So yeah, these are some add-ons to that.
Okay. Um, okay. Let's see what's another question.
Yes.
Um, Okay, so like this is one thing that even I have this one question.
Hmm.
We all have to do internships in summer, and we know that people from
Yes.
tier three colleges we barely get any internship. So, like, can we compare an open source program to an internship?
Definitely, and I'm saying that even sometimes you will learn more from an open source program than internship. Because see, yeah, definitely if you are getting an internship in Google or some good startup, it's a great thing. But what most people I see is they do an internship in a small company, and even that is unpaid, right? They are just you are just doing to
Yes.
get your experience later, right? So I can say either, like, you instead of doing such kind of internships, definitely do open source. Okay, get into these programs, because you will, you are getting paid, and even if you are not getting paid, you are getting an exposure. Okay, the learning which you are getting is really great. And one more thing is that here there is no time commitment, right? In internship, uh, I'm not about talking about the programs, like the normal open source contribution. So see, if you are doing an internship, a remote job, either even a remote job, you have to commit 4 to 5 hours daily. But in open source, uh, sometimes if you have an exams, you can just ask your organization that, hey, I'm having an exams, so I won't able to contribute this week, and they are okay with that, because you are doing it for free. Like in starting, you're definitely doing your open source contribution, and it's all about the collaboration, right? So it's okay even if you are not able to contribute to 2 or 3 days, or even there are exams you are not able to contribute. It's a flexible, okay, it's a really flexible thing compared to the internship. That's what I suggest.
Yes, even I agree to all those points. Internships have proper time commitments, and in open source, like those mentors and communities, they will really understand if you are not available for a particular time. So yes, that is one great thing about open source.
Yes. Yeah, and also I would like to add one thing. See, if you really doing open source, like want to know more about it, you can join the amazing communities out there. Okay, so there is an ID Hub community, which the ID is is the founder of that community. Okay, so you can definitely join such communities who are promoting open source culture, and there also you can learn so much about open source. Okay, so and what is the benefit of joining such communities? That you get motivated from your peers. Okay, like in our tier 3 colleges, I have felt this thing, right? If we go in our college, if we see the people around us in our college, they all are just busy in their academics, and they're not aware about these things, right? So how to get awareness and how to get such peers around you? So you definitely need an environment, right? So sometimes even I demotivate when I go to college and I see people that who are just doing very like who are just engaged in academics. They are not aware about these things. Okay, so to get really motivated from your peers, try to join these communities, because if you join these communities, you will really get charged up, and you see that, oh, these people is doing this thing, I also want to do this. Okay, you will start comparing yourself with them. I say that comparison is really bad, but at least you are thinking about yourself that, no, I want to do this thing, I want to get into this program, he is doing it, I also want to do this thing, right? So you get this motivation from your peers. So for that, try to join such communities. And Decode Cafe is also really great. You can definitely join the community like Decode Cafe. You are really doing great initiative. Okay. So
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you
just
so much. Thank you so much, Raj.
yeah,
Okay, so we have one question in the comments. Okay, you told that you are an onboarding mentor. Could you please tell more about that?
yeah, sure. So see, as I said, whenever you sign a form, okay, you have to first sign a form for OPPIA. So you will get a response from an onboarding mentor. So what onboarding mentor will do is, it will help you to solve your issue. So I'm an onboarding mentor, right? So if someone signs in CLA, I will get the mail that, hey, you are an onboarding mentor for this person, and I have to reach out to that person, and I have to ask them if he or she is having some doubt or not. So that's my role. And yes, one thing I want to clear regarding to OPIA, as I said, there are different teams at OPIA, right? So one of the most active teams are Clam team, and one is a Dev team, like automation team. So to get into that teams, first you need to complete 2 PRs. You need to merge successfully 2 PRs, and to merge the 2 PRs, your onboarding mentor will help you. Okay, he will guide you like what issues you need to work. Okay, he will suggest you some good first issues, and he will review your code and everything, right? So this thing that first try to first you need to do to successfully merge 2 PRs, and then you will be onboarded to a team, either in a clam team or a dev team, or in web also there are different teams. Like for a front end there's a different, for a back end there is a different. Okay, so like that.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
let's move to the next question. Like you said in the beginning, that you are a part of so many different communities. Like you are a GitHub campus
Yes.
expert trainee, you are an organizer of Azure developer community, you are a Postman student leader. So how do you manage time? Like you are a part of so many communities, and now you have participated in. Like now you'll be busy with GSOC. So how do you manage your
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, so definitely I can say that time management is a skill which everyone needs to learn. And one of the major thing I guess is try to build a to-do list. Okay, first, before going to sleep, just write a to-do list that what I want to do the next day. It will really help you. And also one thing which I recently observed and feel like, with a to-do list also build not to-do list. Okay, so in the not to-do list you have to mention that I don't want to do these things during my time, because why we are not able to manage the time is because we are wasting our lot of time. Either it's a mobile, we are using it on a mobile, or watching some random videos on YouTube or any other thing, right? So try to manage your time properly, build a to-do list and build a proper like kind of timetable. I can say not a timetable, I can say just build a to-do list. Okay, and try to complete all the tasks which you want, and do it in a small way. Okay, like don't do it like, okay, now I'm very motivated, I will do this 15 things tomorrow. It won't happen. Okay, you have to take small steps to achieve big. If you want to do open source, try to give 1 or 2 hours a day. Okay, and one of the main point to succeed in such things is try to be consistent. Okay, in open source, do maintain your consistency. Not in open source, in anything you are doing. Okay, if you are doing learning DSA or learning any new thing, try to be a consistent. So it really helps you to do things. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's see if we have some more questions in the chats.
Yeah, sure.
Um, mm, Community bonding, you've already answered these questions. Okay, so I guess now we can end the session. I'm not seeing any other questions popping up in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, Rajat, was amazing having you on our channel. It was, and I hope our viewers have also learned something new. Okay, so before I end the podcast, I want all the viewers to go check the description. Links of Raj's socials are given below. Follow him; he is doing an amazing work. And do follow Decode Cafe Community. We have this 12 days program. There will be more such programs. Will There will be more GSOC contributors coming and sharing their journeys. So please subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much all for joining.
Yeah, it's great to talk with you, Shivangi. Yeah, thank you, Decode Cafe, for inviting me.
Thank you so much.